In the central myth of alchemy, the initiate is the alchemist, raising the materia prima. Before the alchemist can practice his craft, he must learn to understand and work with each of the four states of matter, perfecting his craft on each of the four associated planes. In the metaphor, the alchemist must perfect the materia prima and transmute it to gold. The materia prima is itself allegorical for the raw, unstructured consciousness. The allegorical gold is consciousness raised to full potential.
Alchemy is a very interesting allegory for, let's say, for the path, for the secret. It begins with lead, the materia prima, in other words, the first matter, which is probably not to be understood, at least in its psychological sense, as physical lead. It is physical lead in the alchemist's laboratory, but basically it represents the complex of, let's say, the complex of psychological or soul forces that comprise us. If I say, who are you, Joe or Jim or Sarah or whatever, you don't think of your body as such, you think of everything that makes you you. It's that has to be transmuted through the alchemical process, the inner alchemical process as well as the outer alchemical process, into gold. Everybody knows that alchemy, the idea of alchemy is to change lead into gold, and that should be taken both literally, because that's what the alchemist started off with, lead, but a little bit of gold. According to Gurdjieff, you cannot turn lead into gold unless you already have a little bit of gold. That's the attraction, let's say the attraction of, or the understanding, the inkling, the intuition that we're more than just material beings, that we have the possibility of arriving at a different conscious state. Gold is, again, a metaphor for a higher level, and one of the reasons gold is chosen is that it is eternal in the sense that it reacts with nothing. It is itself immutable, it's forever, and so the objective of alchemy is to turn, let's say, the lead, which represents the material world, into the gold that is eternal and yet within the material world. The result, of course, as written absolutely, in Egypt particularly, eloquently and formally, is the whole idea of eternal life. Like the gold we achieve if we have done our work to perfection, we achieve a level of consciousness, the body dies, the lead disappears, it's transmuted into gold, and our name, the Pharaoh's name, lives forever. It means that his individuality has achieved a state, call it cosmic consciousness, and that is the objective of the exercise. Seed of a soul, not a soul itself. We are born with the seed of a soul, like an acorn. And an acorn just stays a hard nut and does nothing unless it falls on fertile ground, sprouts, circumstances are just right, eventually it becomes an oak tree, it has realized its potential. It's an analogy, analogies only go so far, but basically we're born with the seed of a soul, and that soul has to be planted, nurtured, tended, and all of this is very, very hard work. If your hard work is directed into getting a Lexus, you're not really developing a soul, period. Doesn't mean that you can't have a soul and a Lexus, but soul comes first. Lexus is a byproduct of that.
Although the outer forms of the allegory and symbols change from culture to culture, the mystery teachings of all ages have dealt with the greatest secret of all, the true identity of the initiate, and the path of transformation from lower to higher planes of